In project 4, research assignment number 4. So what you would have done at this point is that in 1, you developed your research question. In number 2, you built up a preliminary reference list. In number 3, you started to put together your materials from 1 and 2 in a textual form over the case of 2 pages. Now what you're doing is in number 4, you're taking your references, either the ones you already identified in number 2, but maybe you're building on that and adding some other things. And what you're doing is you're starting to review what's being said in each of those things. Now, you're not giving me a book report. You're not summarizing detailed explanations for what's going on in the article. Rather, what you're doing, and the key to a good research review or literature review, is that you are linking the articles together, making it seem like the research is conversing with each other, that the pieces of literature are conversing with each other. Either they're all supporting your hypothesis, rejecting it, why are they rejecting it, what would be the limit of that research that's calling into question what you're hypothesizing, what are the critiques of the research perhaps that even agrees with your hypothesis. You need to ensure that that you're making it aware, that you're making me as the reader aware that you are familiar with the research and why it's impactful. Why did you pick the research that you did? You know, is it just what you found first at the top of the search engine? I hope not. So you need to give me some indication that you've done a pretty exhaustive review of the literature. Keep in mind these tips for how to think about this process here. And again, remember, I'm giving you comments along the way. And those comments are important because you are then revising things afterwards and putting it all together at the very end here, the very last part of the research project here. Okay. This is going to take you, of the research assignments, this one's going to take you the longest. Some people would argue is the most difficult part. So I would encourage you to start this early. You also need to be incredibly careful about plagiarism. Don't commit it. That means citing things. Do not, even if you are paraphrasing something, meaning that you are drawing heavily from someone else's explanation, you need to tell me. Do not make me question the work that you're doing because you are trying to pass off something you did not write as if you had written it. Not saying I'm always going to know, but it will be found out. So don't commit that kind of error. You know, when you write something, it needs to be in your own words of your own stuff. Okay. Keep in mind these tips, but then also keep in mind that I know this is your first pass at doing it. What I'm hoping is that you put an honest effort towards doing this the first round, and you're taking my comments and then making it better on the second round when you're turning in the final project.